I'm Michelle, and I'm going to be talking about the organization Dress for Success today. Alright. Could you imagine growing up in a world where you're sexually abused as a child by your own mother's husband, and then your own mother giving you up to foster care because her new boyfriend does not like kids and she chooses him over you? Now you've been abandoned and you go from foster care home to foster care home, and you grow up on the streets where you find yourself in your teens addicted to drugs and working as a prostitute. And then a couple of years later, you end up pregnant and you have nowhere to turn to. Well, this story is a true story, and it's actually this lady's story, Paula Lou Hex. And she's one of the ladies who has been helped by the organization Dress for Success. Through my presentation, I'm going to demonstrate to you how there's a need for assisting organizations that focus on helping women through tough situations into the workforce, making them able to provide for their families. Well, the organization Dress for Success, as I've mentioned, works with women on not only their job search, but on their knowledge and provide a support system for single mothers like Paula. Starting off, Paula had to put herself and her child on government assistance. According to the most recent U.S. Census, 60% of single parents fall into the poverty level, requiring welfare. But Paula didn't want to be part of that 60%. She wanted to bring herself out, and she knew she could only do that with a job. They're unable to find work, which keeps them on welfare, as they lack experience with resumes, job interviews, and proper clothing attire if they're lucky enough to get an interview. Dress for Success not only works with the single mothers in the situation like Paula, but these single mothers used to be home providers, and now their husbands have either left them or in some situations, their husbands are now in jail, such as in another woman's story, Sonia. Sonia had never worked before in her life, but once her husband was arrested for a DUI and placed in jail, she was left alone to provide for her 3 kids. She had never been on a job search, and she didn't know where to turn. By going to Dress for Success, women finally receive assistance on their resumes. They finally receive assistance on their resumes, cover letters, interview techniques, and even go on to learn about credit repair, debt reduction, their presentation skills, how to negotiate in the office, and time management. All of these services are provided through the Career Center at Dress for Success. Since the doors have opened in 1998, they have helped 13,000 women in the Oregon area alone in the Career Center. Along with working on their skill set, Dress for Success works on self-esteem and helps provide a support system. First impressions are key when you meet a future employer, and they take this into account. Your possible future employer is not only looking at your resume, but they are also going to be looking at your presence. Women lacking experience and coming from low income, they do not have the means to provide for themselves with the proper business attire. This is where Dress for Success comes in. They help women choose from a selection of donated clothing for their interview outfit. They also provide the women with professional hair and makeup styles. Through the process, women get a boost of self-esteem, making them more confident for the interviews they will soon face. Under these intense circumstances of debt, these women are in desperate need to find that stable job and keep it. Well, the company provides women with support groups, which is known as the Professional Women's Group. The goal of this group is to build a supportive group and offer information that help women unfamiliar with the workplace continue to develop their skills and transition into economic mainstream. The women come to this group and they learn from other professionals. Other professionals give talks to the women about new challenges they will be facing in the workforce, such as transportation, childcare, time management, and budgeting skills. There are right now over 200 women a part of the professional women group in the Portland and Vancouver area. The Dress for Success is a nonprofit organization that relies on donations from our community. They are not only local, but they are international, as they serve women in Africa, Europe, and Canada, and all around the United States. So some statistics of how they've helped women just in our area alone. They've helped over 2,000 women in the Portland area a year. This is their rough estimate, get jobs. And then since they've opened, they've helped 13,000 women. And then, as I mentioned before, the support group has about 200 women taking part of it right now. So as I mentioned, they help women through the job search and even after they've been hired. But how do they help them through the job search exactly? Well, they have different areas that they work on with them. They start with the resume, where they work in the Career Center, as I mentioned before, where in the Career Center, they receive help on cover letters, resumes, negotiating, and copying and doing those types of materials. In the Career Centers, what they provide the women with is internet, computers, and phone, which is something that can be harder for people coming from a low income to find and afford. And in the Portland's Dress for Success, they actually have availability of 5 computers with internet access, phones, and office supplies such as printing and copying in their Career Center. But with the build on self-esteem, Dress for Success also provides them with makeovers. Our donations that we can give allows these women to have their outer appearance reflect their inner professional appearance. These women have been assisted and have learned the importance of business technique, resume writing, and how to present themselves professionally. And they aid them through the, As each woman who comes through Dress for Success receives a personal shopper, they allow the women a chance to pick out their perfect outfit, and then they even get to work one-on-one with a hairstylist and makeup artist. So they do not stop there. As I mentioned before, they not only supply them with clothing, but they also supply them with items such as handbags, jewelry, jackets, and other essential clothing items that you could think of that are required in an office place. And they continue to invite them back and take part in their community. Dress for Success is helping our local community as they provide women with the needs to get a job, finally allowing them the stable environment to get off of government aid and provide for their own family on their own. The trouble Dress for Success faces is that they're a complete non-profit organization and rely on local community members to donate to the cause. The only Dress for Success in the Oregon area is actually located in North Portland. You may have never known this, but our own community of University of Portland actually does have a part with the organization of Dress for Success. So, our own health center is one of the 160 referral agencies in Oregon that sends women to Dress for Success. Therefore, as a community, we should be willing to donate to Dress for Success. As you can see, this is their website, and it's quite simple. You just simply go to dressforsuccess.org, and over to the right-hand corner, there's a donate button or a volunteer button. Because they are not only in need of money, but they are also in need of volunteers. Volunteers work from simply doing hairstyles, to makeup, to sorting the clothes that needs to be put in the warehouse. So in all, as a community, we should be willing to donate to Dress for Success, as we just simply need to go to the above listed website and can donate on the right-hand side. And if you do not have the money, there's always the availability of time, as we can volunteer and help the women in need. I hope you recognize the need to help people who are in a disadvantage in the job search through any donation you can make. Thank you.